Hello guys and welcome back to Big Brother Canada, and today we are going to be talking about week 5. And I gotta say guys, I've watched the whole week and this week does not go as planned. Honestly, I feel like this whole show is just one big chaotic mess, but I am loving every single second of it. I don't think anybody expected it to go the way it has gone so far, but this show is absolutely incredible. So if you are wanting to watch along, the link is in the description to watch. It is fantastic. Please, please, please watch it if you are interested, or just watch my videos. I will be recapping every single episode, so make sure that you watch along. But before we get into the episode, I just want to say thank you guys very, very much for watching. You guys are doing absolute bits on the channel at the moment. We are on our way to 900, so make sure we get there. But for now, thank you guys for watching, and let's get into the video, shall we? So, to start this episode off, we are going to talk about what happened just before the executive veto meeting in the previous episode. Now, as you may remember, V was given the power of executive veto. She used it on Todd. Todd then replaced himself in the nominations with Vivek, and Vivek was unanimously voted out of the house. It was a power move, but obviously before this was all happening, some people were not happy about the way the week was going to be going. In fact, Kayla and V were talking to Dougie and were explaining to him, look, I think it's best if Todd stays and Tola goes. And obviously Dougie was like, no, that is not happening. Please do not say that in my presence again. That is ridiculous. It seems like the hot chocolate alliance is now getting a little bit heated. It really does feel like it's the three girls against Lexus and Dougie. And even then, Lexus and Dougie are only working together because of Matt. So it really does feel like there is a crack in the alliance that is being shifted. And interestingly, Dougie was talking about the fact that he gave V the power of executive veto to really see where her loyalties lie. Now, that is toxic, first of all. That's crazy, because she's given this power. Obviously, she's going to use it to take down Todd and put Vivek up. She's not going to take down Tola, because Tola will want to take out Bailey, and that is not the plan. That is not going to work well for V's game. However, obviously, taking out Vivek is damaging to Anthony's game, because Anthony had him on a tight leash. So obviously this whole thing is really exposing V as a little bit of a game player, but to Anthony. Obviously to the rest of the house, not so much, but Anthony's starting to work out where her true loyalties lie. And I don't think it's with him. So the HOH competition was an integral one. This week really would have decided the rest of the game moving forward. Because if V and her little clique of girls gets in charge, they are going to have to take out someone on the other side of the house, and that is going to cause problems. Whereas if someone on Dougie's side of the house gets in charge, then it's also going to cause problems because they're going to have to take out one of the girls. So it really is an integral week to win HOH. This was the sliding challenge. Now, they often do it with like glasses or things, but in this one it was milkshakes, and they had to slide the milkshakes along a board to try and rack up as many points as they possibly can in the time limit given. I thought this was a hard challenge. It's tough because sometimes you'll do it too hard and it will go off the edge. Sometimes you'll do it too lightly and it won't go far enough. But I thought that this was actually the perfect test to see who was going to make it far in this competition. Anthony only ended up with a total score of 19 after 3 goes. Avery ended with 36, Bailey with 33, V with 15, Matt with 11, Tola with 21, Kayla with 22, Lexus with 23, and Todd with 29. So after a very, very thrilling HOH competition, Avery was actually the one that ended up in charge. And I gotta say, this puts my favourite side of the house, which is like Todd, V, Kayla, Avery, Bailey, in a good position for this week. Because obviously none of them are touching the block. It's going to be someone from the other side of the house that is going to be going home. And let's just say, it's not who you expect it to be. So we're going to talk about something called the Todd problem. Todd is a floater at the moment. There are two floaters in the house. One of them is Elijah. One of them is Todd. However, Elijah and Todd have loose connections to the opposite sides of the house. So Elijah's more aligned with Dougie in that lot, and Todd is more aligned with the girls. Now, the problem with Todd is that everybody on the other side of the house wants him to be used as the target for the week. Him versus Elijah, because they're the two floaters in the house. That's a problem, because I think the girls are now starting to notice the worth of Todd in this game. Todd is willing to make big moves if he has to, and they need someone like that in order to take out stronger people in the game without getting blood on their hands. It's a smart tactic. We've seen it used time and time again. But for some reason, it's almost as if Todd is now becoming an integral piece of the puzzle. There was a moment where Kayla and Todd were talking about Matt and how Matt needs to go and how it needs to be Matt versus Tola this week. And I couldn't help but agree. I think that's the perfect two, because you then have to make them choose between two people on their own side, which is obviously crazy, but it also means that there's a layer of unpredictability to it. Either one of them could go, and it's going to help advance the game further. And then Todd was also talking to V, and V was really getting him on side and egging him up and being like, yeah, you can make some big moves. You can make some big moves. I've noticed that V is very, very good at this game. Very good at this game. And the only other person that can really see through that is Dougie. And I am very, very concerned that at some point, Dougie is going to basically expose her. But I'm hoping he gets taken out before that. I'm kind of rooting for V to win. I'm rooting for Bailey to win. But I'm also rooting for V to win, because I think that's going to be an incredibly integral position in the house for her, because everyone trusts her. There's not a single person, she's not on anybody's lips, whereas Dougie is. Dougie is on everyone's radar apart from his closest allies. V's playing this game spectacularly, that's all I can say. So there is a plan. Avery has a plan for the week. She brought Lexus up to her room to get a Wendy's. First of all, when they were like, oh, I think I'll get the French toast stick, I was like, no, I'll be getting a burger, I'll be getting a sandwich, I'll be getting so much food that I'm physically unable to eat anything more. Are they like limited to a certain amount? I don't understand how it works, but like, I would want so much food. I'd want 2 drinks. I'm sorry, I'm greedy, but like, it doesn't happen often, so I want my food, do you know what I mean? So anyway, they were talking, and Avery was basically filling Lex in on what Dougie had said earlier. Dougie had said something along the lines of, the girls need to be like careful because people are starting to notice you're spending a lot of time together. And both of them were like, well, this is a load of rubbish, because the boys also spend a lot of time together. So it actually is a load of rubbish, because like, check yourself before you come and check us, that kind of thing. I think there's definitely a growing resentment against Dougie, and it's because he's playing this game too puppet stringy. If he had just sunk in the background and just gotten by, but he's just trying to tell everyone how to play their games, and it is really frustrating to watch. It's starting to get a little bit irritating. And I think more and more people are starting to want to get rid of him, and it's going to be harder for V to sort of dissuade those people from voting him and putting him up on the block and then voting him out. So the nomination ceremony happened, and Avery decided to put Tola up against Elijah. There was a really uncomfortable conversation with Elijah in which she was like, yeah, I'm putting you up. And he was like, oh, it's fine. He basically thought he was the pawn and wasn't the target for the week. But then obviously Avery was like, Elijah, you're my target for the week. I want you to go home, etc., etc. And I was like, rah, that's crazy. Yeah, honestly, this nomination ceremony was fun. I would personally want to get rid of Tola over Elijah. I think Elijah's an easy target to get rid of. He's the problem with this game is you want to be able to take out strong opponents. You have to be able to take out strong opponents, because otherwise it's a really difficult game when you get down to it and you've got strong opponent against strong opponent. You want to keep someone in who's honestly quite manipulative, that can be manipulated, and like will be more of a sort of swing vote, I guess. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's interesting, but at the moment it's doing well. I'm liking this, but we're only halfway through this video, so let's crack on to the next episode, shall we? So obviously Elijah is not happy that he's up on the block as a target. He has said for weeks that don't put me up as a pawn because or keep putting me up as a pawn because I'm not going to be the target, whereas he wants, he's now the target, etc, etc. He had a conversation with Avery in her HOH room whilst V was hiding in the bathroom listening. I found that absolutely hilarious. But then they started to discuss what would happen if someone won the veto and used it. Obviously, they've got a plan to get rid of Elijah over Tola, but then it was almost like maybe we should get rid of Tola over Elijah because Tola is a better competitor and could end up winning HOH and really fucking up our games. It's a good idea. I think take out Tola. If you've got Tola against Elijah, Tola is the stronger competitor. Get him out of the house. That's how I would play it. But obviously they're now thinking, okay, well, what if Elijah gets taken down? Who are we going to put up in his stead? Avery wants to put Dougie up there. And I was like, and V was obviously like, you do realise if you do that and you send Elijah home, like, Dougie's not going to forget that you put him up. And Avery was like, and you think I've forgotten the fact that he put me up week 1? And I was like, I forgot about that. Oh my god, I forgot about that. I forgot the fact that Dougie put you up as a pawn in week 1. So honestly, I was all for Dougie being put up and backdoored out of the house because I think he would have been. I think V would have had to make a very, very difficult decision, but I think she would have voted him out because it would have been better than keeping him in the house and having him run through each of her allies and get rid of them. Yeah. But obviously going into the veto challenge, they were very much, we need Tola gone. So the veto challenge. The veto competition was electric. It went on for a good hour and a bit, an hour and a half in real time. It was obviously cut down to about 5-10 minutes on the show, but it was thrilling to watch. They basically had to take teeth out of gunk, take them across to a washing station, wash them, bring them back, and then effectively what they had to do from there was clean them, put them on, and stack them until all 25 teeth were stacked. I don't know about you, but that's a crazy, crazy task. I don't think I'd have been able to do it, and I think I would have got frustrated and quit a lot sooner. It was a long-ass task, and honestly, I hate the stacking ones. I think they're fun to watch because they're very thrilling and one wrong move can send you right back to the beginning. But as a player, nah, you couldn't catch me playing them games. You could not catch me because as if I'm going to do that, not a chance. So in a shocking twist, Tola actually ended up winning their POV, the power of veto. And obviously now it became a case of, right, who do we put up in Tola's place? So this is where things get really, really interesting because we've now got Avery in a real dilemma. Does she put up Matthew? Does she put up Matt? Matt is a very, very good friend of hers, but he is a big threat to her group, which they've affectionately called Hotter Chocolate. Kayla, V, and Avery's Hotter Chocolate. He's a threat. Does she put up Dougie? Because that would be a big move, taking out someone like that. Crazy, crazy times. The only issue is with Matt and Tola taken down, it would be Matt, Tola, and Lexus that would be voting for Dougie, and then V could swing the vote and send Elijah home. That's the only issue. Then we had Todd. Todd's the safe pick. Putting Todd up against Elijah is like it's just boring. It's not enjoyable. So she's obviously sitting there and she's floating Matt's name out there, and Dougie and Lexus are disagreeing with her completely. That is the worst move you could possibly make. That's a horrible move. I think it's the best move personally. But that's because Dougie and Kayla are close to Matt and they don't want him to go home. I would be the same if one of my allies was going up on the block. It's not fair because these people are like, but like, you've got to put your alliance first, with this alliance, which you're saying is the alliance, yet you're not treating it like the alliance. Does that make sense? That's what's frustrating about those two at the moment. Also, V is like in a little bit of a sticky situation because what does she do? What does she do here? And Avery went to Matt and was like, I'm really, really sorry, but like, I'm having to consider putting you up. And he basically was like, oh, rah, she is putting me up because she's like crying and all that stuff. And I was like, oh no, this is just going to be an absolute nightmare of epic proportions if this goes wrong. So the veto meeting came and went. Tola took himself down from the block and Avery very tearfully announced that Matthew was going to be the replacement nominee. This is the moment that the house is split in two. There is no going back. The eviction, I'm fairly certain, will be very, 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 very split. There is going to be one vote in it. You only need 4 votes. And if you think about it, you've got Kayla, Bailey, Todd, Matt to go. Tola, Dougie, Lexus, Matt to stay. So that really does mean that V is the solitary vote to decide whether Matt stays or Elijah stays. And vice versa, but goes. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So that is all we've got time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that whirlwind. It is a great series. It really, really is. I look forward to watching it every single time. I'm like, oh, I need to make a Big Brother video. Yes, cool. Let's watch it. I don't feel like that about every show I do on here. The last show I kind of felt like this about was The Traitors, where I was like really excited to watch it. This is just as good as The Traitors, in my opinion. But I respect that you guys may completely disagree with me. That's just how I feel. The Traitors is great. This is also great. So thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to like, comment and subscribe and do all of that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. We are on our way to 900 subscribers and you guys are absolutely smashing those goals. So make sure to keep it up. But until then, keep on ranting. See you later. Bye now.